Are you going?
Awesome. No, I'm just recording. I don't have anything to ask. I'm just here to record.
Okay, so I guess I missed the question.
I ask stupid stuff. You ask serious stuff.
All right.
Stupid stuff is the name of the game.
I ask food stuff. I'm still a fat guy, you know.
Let's talk about food. What's your favorite?
I'm all for talking about food. Oh gosh. I have a sweet tooth, so I'm more of a. I really love desserts. But no, my boyfriend and I we're pretty big foodies. What's your favorite type of food?
That is great Mexican food.
Mexican food?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of sushi. I mean, I am half Japanese, so
well,
kind of makes sense. But
really, I could never guess.
Never guessed, right? With the name and stuff like that. No, definitely. Japanese food is probably some of my favorite type of cuisine.
The only downfall is a lot of Japanese places. You go there and it's run by it's not actually Japanese. It's just
it's the same in Vancouver, right? But
right.
I mean, whoever is interested in making it, and if they're good at it, it doesn't really matter what nationality they are. That's true, right? But definitely, I know a few of pretty authentic Japanese restaurants in Vancouver that they are run by Japanese, and the whole staff is Japanese, and it's pretty darn good, I have to say.
I'll have to make a note next time.
Next time you come to Vancouver, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Do you do any cooking yourself, or
I do. Chicken curry puffs are
puffs.
Really? I definitely like. Yes. I handle more so the vegetables in my house, kind of like making the salads and the vegetable sides to things. Whereas my boyfriend, he definitely is really good on the grill. Right. So he's in charge of the meat.
Yeah, I'm big at grilling and smoking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a smoker. I've just never used it that often. I need to start that.
I got one for Father's Day. It was a really nice one too. So
nice.
Smoke everything. So smoke vegetables even. So
yeah.
Yeah, now we know about food. So obviously like that, and also
Evans likes to eat.
Okay, awesome.
So do I.
To eat food.
Yeah.
Japanese food.
Oh,
Love sushi too. So
yeah.
it's
anything pretty much.
Yeah.
Anything.
I know a couple good sushi places where I live. They're just fantastic. Yeah. Then you got some. It's like,
oh yeah. No, but lately I've started eating a lot more kind of Persian food that way. So like fusion Indian food.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
But there again. Yeah.
There's a Lebanese place down where I live. Oh, they have a shawarma pizza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's shawarma meat, and all the vegetables on a crispy pita bread with tzatziki sauce. How do I pronounce that? Something like that.
Yeah, it's like the stuff they put on gyros.
Yeah, same thing. Oh, it's so good.
I'm hungry.
No worries. Sorry.
So, is this your first time at Bronycon?
No, this will be my second time at Bronycon.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I guess you've also been doing a lot of the con circuit now for a couple years now. So, how's it been for you as far as interacting with fans and sort of seeing the fruits of your labor being
It never. Sorry to interrupt you. It never ceases to amaze me. The Brony population, or just the fandom. It never ceases to amaze me, whether it's the creativity and the talent that's involved with it, or just the fact that they appreciate my work so much, and everyone who's involved with the show, they appreciate the work so much. And I think as an artist, that you can't put a price on that, because at the end of the day, you're doing something that you love, that you would gladly do for free, but I mean, here's all these people around the world that watch your show, and they really appreciate that. And to meet people who tell me that maybe a song, for example, got them into the fandom, a song of mine got them into the fandom, or somehow a song has helped them throughout their life. Yeah, what other job do you know of that you get that kind of recognition, or you get that kind of positive feedback? So I don't know. I love coming to the conventions. I really do, and being able to see my fans face to face. It's wonderful.
That's awesome. And so, as far as getting into the show, I mean, obviously, I guess answered a auditioning call, or your agent told you that there was this opportunity, or
yeah, no, my agent will call, and depending on if the con wants me or not, if they'll be like, okay, we'd like Kazumi, and my agent will then give me a call therefore and be like, oh, are you interested in going to Baltimore, for example? And I was here last year, and so this will be my second time. And right away, I had such a positive experience here last year that right away I was like, yeah, I want to go. Sign me up for anything. I love interacting with the Bronies. I really do, and I love interacting with my fans. And I just can't get enough of that. It just never ceases to blow me away. And it's going on 6 years now. Yeah. That since the show has started, and I've been lucky enough to be on the show from the beginning. So. That says something. After 6 years, it's still just as as new, just as fresh, just as exciting as it was from day one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking just going through like some of your work here too, as far as like you've been doing stuff for a while, and I had different like animated things that you've been doing. I saw your first ones in 1987.
Yeah, no.
I was
Okay,
like, I had to double check.
I don't know, because I'm like, I was born in 1989, so unless I was performing from the womb,
Time
In
travel.
the womb, I guess probably, it's like, that I don't think that's ever so accurate. I think that's about the only credit on there. It's been a long time since I've looked at my IMDb page. I think that's the only credit on there that's pretty obviously not.
Yeah, so that's why I had to check. So.
Other than that, I think pretty much everything on there is accurate.
Most of the time, though, when it comes to like long-running shows, they'll have just the start date or like
Yes.
So it may have shown up like later on. But
She was in one episode of Teddy Ruxpin. I thought.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. I'm thinking. I remember seeing that, or someone brought that up to me, and I was like, I wasn't born. That was like, that was
89.
2 years before I was born. So.
Born in 89. I feel old.
Sorry, that was not my intention.
No, I was born in 80, so.
84.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay, so as far as like, how did you get into like acting or voice acting then? So
voice acting. Okay. Well, pretty well-known story now is when I was about 9 years old. My family and I, we had gone on a cruise ship for a Christmas holiday, and I was always a big Disney fan as a kid. Like I was always mimicking, making voices, and acting things out, just being a real ham. And anyways, I heard that they were having a talent contest on the show for kids.
Right.
And so I ran to my mom, and I was obsessed with Mulan at the time, the Disney film Mulan.
Good movie.
And the song Reflections, sung by Leah Salonga, one of my big all-time favorite singers. And I ran to my mom, who's, poor thing, she's sunbathing on a deck chair, and I said, Mom, you have to make me a costume, like I'm going to be performing in this talent contest. And she's like, whoa. I can't make you a costume, we're on a boat. All right, but I did it. I sang the song, and after I sang, a lady came up to my mom and I, and she said, would your daughter be interested in taking voice lessons? I'm an opera teacher, opera singing teacher. Would your daughter be interested in taking voice lessons? Because I think she should. And my mom at the time said, no, this is just something she does for fun. This is not like something that she's actively pursuing as a career. But I think after that, the wheels kind of started turning in my head, and I, started kind of pestering my mom if I could, be in musical theater classes. And that's where I got my start, was amateur theater in Vancouver. And then eventually in high school, I started performing professionally in Vancouver. And the agent that represented me 6 years back, he asked me, I remember this on the phone, are you interested in doing cartoons for animation or commercials and stuff, voiceover work? And I said to myself, yeah, I think that sounds pretty fun. Sure, send me out. So he sent me out on the audition circuit, and I think I went out for about a year and, got close to some things, didn't end up booking jobs. And then My Little Pony was my first job. Daniel Ingram had called me into his apartment where he had his home studio, and he said, would you be interested in singing or auditioning for the singing voice of Twilight Sparkle? That's what they were originally looking at me for. And so I sang this theme song, and he looked at me and he said, you know what, I think you sound more like a Rarity. Didn't know what Rarity was. I just said, sure, fine, okay,
Hey,
cool.
sign me up.
Didn't hear anything, and then a few weeks later, they told me I got the job. And of course, I loved My Little Pony growing up. I played with all the toys, watched the original versions of it. And I can say that I don't think any of us would have thought the show would have become what it's become today. So I look at it and I think that's a pretty darn good job to start off in the business. And I can proudly say that I've been working as a voiceover actor full-time ever since. So
that's excellent. And that's one thing I wanted to sort of ask about, because I always thought it was interesting when I figured out that there were the singing actresses. I understand the reason like Tara had one because she's down in LA, and we needed like the singing voice in studio for where Daniel was. But as far as like for you, for Rarity, and then Shannon for Pinky as well, some of the actresses also have like singing parts as well too.
Yes.
Was there a reason behind that you know of? Or?
I really don't know why, to be honest. Tabitha, I have nothing but great respect for her. I think she's an amazing actress, and she's actually a very good singer, and she got her start in the business through theater as well. But yeah, at the time, I have no idea what the reasoning was for having singing doubles along with speaking
Yeah.
the speaking doubles as well. Like I don't really understand. I didn't really know why that happened, to be honest.
And that's one thing I was curious too, because I mean, your guys or girls' voices like match so well in some points.
Thank you.
Especially with Shannon and Pinky, like, and
Yeah.
that's a character who flips in between singing and talking so much.
Oh yeah.
How closely do you work with the talking actor?
Oh, with Tabitha. Well, Tabitha, you know, I now after many years I know her, and I've gotten the opportunity to work with her on many projects. But in the beginning, they just would literally take a clip of her voice and be like, "Okay, here's her speaking voice," in the studio on the day, and be like, "Okay, go." You know, so I had learned all the music prior to that, but yeah, I just went in there and I just did my best and was like, "Oh, okay, oh, Twilight." Like that's always kind of my catchphrase to get myself into the Rarity sort of voice. So I was like, "Oh, Twilight, all right, you know, stage by stage, stitching it together," and just kind of listening to all the nuances in her voice, because Rarity, if you listen to her, she's not a British pony, but because her words are so enunciated, it kind of comes out a little bit as British, you know.
Right.
So, which is something I think naturally I do, just because when I was young, I had a singing teacher that always would drill enunciation. So I think in that
Don't
sense,
say a boot.
yeah.
Oh
exactly.
gosh, you know.
so I think in that sense, it was fortunately quite a natural fit, which was good.
That's crazy because some of the actors you can hear like tones of their character, but you don't sound anything like the singing Rarity. So it's a trip to hear that all of a sudden come out of you.
Yeah,
Kathy Westlake is like that as well too. When she flips on Spike, it's like
I know, no, she's amazing. Like she'll just pull it out, and it's great. It's great. But I think as a voice actor, that's a skill that you develop over time, and especially with confidence and the more projects you work on. Because a lot of times we'll be in session and say a producer, like you'll have something prepared for this character, and you're like, okay, like so I have these different options. But if a producer or a director is sitting behind the glass and they say, you know what, it's not what we're looking for. Or can you change it up a bit? And literally, that's the direction sometimes you get. It's like, you know, it's not what we're looking for. Can you do something different?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do, right? So that ability to just kind of pull it out of thin air and just, you know, improvise is a big skill, I think, in the voiceover industry.
And now you're doing a lot of speaking voices along with singing.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm listening to you. You sound.
Stable.
Yeah, you sound. you sound. Moon Dancer is a lot like your natural voice.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
no, and definitely even other projects I've worked on, I've been fortunate enough to be cast just pretty much based on my natural voice.
Yep.
But yeah, like Octavia, she's a British pony.
Yep.
Adagio Dazzle, she's this deliciously evil villain, right? Which is kind of in the lower range of my voice. It's finding all those colors, right? And then yeah, every now and then you get a character that kind of just sounds more like you. So you're like, oh great, you know.
Yeah, don't have to just walk in and just talk.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I was about to say, and as far as like making that like changeover, then as far as like doing more of the speaking roles, like Moon Dancer, like Adagio, how did that happen? Did that just because you're sort of in the circle?
No, you have to audition for every role, pretty much, or at least I have had to. Whether it was for Luna, whether it was for Moon Dancer, Adagio, Octavia, I was lucky that I was fortunate enough that I just got a call and they said, oh, they'd like you to be in the 100th episode and they'd like you to play Octavia. And honestly, I didn't know the importance of Octavia within the fandom. I just was like, oh, that's a lovely name. She plays the cello. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, that's great. And then little snippets of Rose, of course. And so I just went and recorded it. Like, honestly, I was so oblivious to the fact. I was just so happy to be in the 100th episode one. And to be in the episode that Doctor Who's appeared in, because I'm a big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
So, honestly, those were the things I was really excited about, because I had no idea of the weight Octavia had within the fandom.
Yeah, it's a little.
But now I do. Now I do, of course. And now I'm very excited and happy and proud to have been able to have voiced her, of course.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But other than that, all the other roles I've had to re-audition for. And that's usually how it is on most shows, too. Like other projects, if, you know, it's never usually just given. It's usually they just want to make sure or try out and see what you can do, right?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, just listening to you tell about how sort of everyone gets like cast together, the singing and speaking voices. I was just thinking how funny it would have been if like you got Adagio, but they had someone else doing the singing part of Adagio. So
oh yeah.
That'd have been a slap in the face.
Well, it seems like such a weird thing. So as far as like her, did they say you auditioned for that character? Was that we need you to talk and sing, or did they talk about splitting that up as well too, like they do the other voices?
They didn't talk. No, on that one they didn't tell me about splitting it up. And yeah, when I went into audition, it had the script, and then also I had to sing. I think it was a Katy Perry song. I had to go in and sing with. I forget what Katy Perry song, but it was definitely a Katy Perry song.
California Girls?
No, that was for Little's Pet Shop.
Yeah,
when a bunch of us had to audition with California Girls. But
why did they make you sing Katy Perry songs?
I don't know. It was hard. It was difficult. Just because a lot of Katy Perry songs, I love her stuff, but yeah, it's very low in the register. But I think that actually probably suited me for Adagio because she is a voice that kind of sits lower in my register for sure.
Yeah. So as far as like that character, and I'm sorry if you want to jump in for myself. Do we have anyone else who came in? Okay, so it's just us.
5 minutes.
Oh, okay. We'll keep it.
This is my entourage.
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Good job.
Adagio.
Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
All right. As far as that character, as far as what you went into making her, because obviously that's one that you were able to create yourself because you weren't trying to copy or mimic someone else's voice.
Yeah, no, it was great. She was my first character. That was, I think, 100% someone that I got to make from scratch, which was pretty exciting. And also, it was a real switch up because up until that point, every other character I had ever played, whether it was on ponies or other projects I worked on, I was always, the young ingenue kind of voice, like the princessy kind of girl in that sense. So it was really awesome to be given an opportunity, especially on the Equestria Girl series, to play a villain.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially when you're first starting out in the business, it's kind of hard when you get known for playing a certain type of role, like the young ingenue role, for example, to kind of break out and then play something like that, which is kind of the complete opposite. So Adagio definitely was a lot of fun to play.
So what?
Pony credit actually, served like to get you direct calls in any way. Like I know a lot of the writers have talked about in the past, having that on their resume is a huge boost.
My Little Pony on your resume. Oh yes, of course, and also because I feel very fortunate for this, having been on the show from the start. Absolutely, and also now that I have collected a few characters, I like to call it my stable of ponies. Yeah, okay.
We're all about those here.
Get it? Definitely, yes, definitely.
But have you ever then got like the feedback that an opportunity was directly due to,
I've never heard direct feedback saying exactly that, but I'm sure it can't help. Mm-hmm. It's like anything, when you have a big name credit on your resume, no matter what it is you do, it's gonna make an impression, right? People, especially now back home in Vancouver, like My Little Pony is like the show to be on.
Yeah.
Just because of its huge fandom that it has. So yeah, I'd be lying if I said, of course, like it hasn't helped my career, absolutely. And like I said at the beginning of the session, having it be my first job, like, yeah, looking back now, it's like, wow, like what an awesome first job.
Yeah, no kidding.
Introduction to the business. It's like, all right, here you go, Shark Tank. Boop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
go voice this, and then you'll be in front of fans everywhere.
Sorry.
Go voice this, and then you'll be in front of fans everywhere.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really great.
Cool. And since we're wrapping up here, as far as stuff coming up, is there anything you can tell us about that you're a part of, that you're looking forward to, that you can share, or is everything?
I think I'm just for my own safety, I'm just going to say no, just for now, just because I'm not sure like what we're allowed to talk about right now.
Well, not just pony, but just
ponies and stuff like that. Okay,
well, anything really.
Oh, anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, ponies, I'll just kind of leave it as that because for my own safety.
A non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But there's a great new series that recently has been airing in Europe. But I believe you can find it on YouTube. And it stars myself, Tabitha St. Germain, and Ashley Ball. And it's a series called Lolly Rock. And how I like to equate it to, it's kind of like the new Sailor Moon in a way. It's about these three girls, and they have, Iris. I play the lead Iris. She's a girl from this planet called Ephedia. And she's been brought to Earth, like, to be raised as a human, but she doesn't know that she's really this princess of this realm because this evil guy has taken her family and is after her. So she's raised as a human, and then her two friends, Talia and Ariana, come, but they're also from her world, but she doesn't know that. And they sing, and they have a band, and they fight evil, and they transform and everything. And it's a pretty cool show, and it's beautifully animated.
That's called Lolly Rock?
It's called Lolly Rock, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. No, but it's a fun show, and also it's a great opportunity, again, to work with Tabitha and Ashley. And Vincent Tong's on it, Kelly Sheridan's on it. Quite a lot of us pony people are on it, which is fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a close knit group up in Vancouver.
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
the voiceover world definitely in Vancouver. It is a pretty close, tightly knit group of people. So it's a real honor and it's a pleasure to be a part of that close knit group. Also, another feature film that came out earlier this year for me was first premiered in Australia. It's called Monster Beach, and so that's another project. Also, Bob the Builder is another project I'm working on right now.
Really?
Oh, they're bringing that back?
Oh yeah, they brought it back again and again, so that's fun to be a part of that. And a bunch of other new projects I can't really talk about because they're in the works.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
Well, as long as you're keeping busy.
Yes, absolutely. No, I do. But thank you guys so much for coming today.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure. And thank you for